You were visibly upset, and I actually heard you yell out, "Who played that song? Who played that song?" What can you talk about that a little bit?
Us fighters, we're pretty emotional individuals, and especially right at that time, right at that moment, we're pretty emotional, we're pretty worked up. So I think I might have had a slight little bit of an overreaction. I apologize for acting like a child in there. But yeah, I was upset that they kind of misplayed my walkout song. I think my walkout song is a pretty decent staple. People know what my walkout song is, and they got it wrong. So I was upset a little bit more than I probably should have been.
But did that play into your psyche as you started the fight? Because I know there were some boo birds.
Once the fight starts, the fight starts. You can't make any excuse. Oh well, he dyed his hair yellow. I wasn't expecting it. Oh, he did this or the wrong walkout song or this or that. Yada yada yada. No excuse. Once the fight starts, and my performance was what it was.
Now, in the freak injury that happened, you said in your post-fight interview that it was due to you checking the kicks.
Yep.
Do we know, is that what it was from, or was it how he stepped?
No, it was pretty confirmed. It's from the check kicks. After the whole Anderson Silva thing, people started working on the whole check and kicks things. Our gym copied like everybody else does, and we started practicing checking kicks, and not just like checking, but doing a knee check, leaning into it a little bit. And I would have never guessed. I would have never put any money on me winning the fight from check and kick. But if Chris Weidman takes a W that way, I'll take a W that way too.
And lastly, what were you a little bit drawn out from the weight cut down to 55, and what was your game plan going into the fight?
I don't think the weight cut had too much of a negative effect. Obviously, the weight cut has an effect on your performance period, but I wouldn't say it was too much of a negative effect. And going into the fight, the game plan was to go beat him up, and I got my hand raised.
For Benson, what did you and Jeandra say to each other afterwards when you guys were posing?
I didn't really hear what he said. To be honest, he mumbled something, and I was like, "Yeah." I'm not sure what he said, but I'm sure it wasn't anything like too positive towards me. So I was like, "Yeah, okay."
And can you talk? Well, what did you say to him? That was it. It looked like you uttered more than that.
Nah, that was pretty much the gist of what I said. Yeah, okay.
Overall, there's respect there, or like are you two athletes that get along, or have you guys ever had any friction?
I don't have a problem with any of the guys I'm going to face off against, or about to face off against, or guys I've fought in the past. I'm a pretty laid back individual, so I haven't had a problem with anybody. I don't think I have a problem with Jeandra at all.
Josh, Benson, first off, this club that you're in, this UFC club that's coming over to Bellator, it's growing now. Rory's another one. What are your thoughts on the expansion? Sort of you guys coming over, the guys that are choosing to do that, and do you talk? I mean, the UFC fraternity. Do you guys talk amongst yourselves about the experience here? What's it like?
Yeah, I think for the most part, when it comes to talking about that, I've had quite a few guys hitting me up and asking me about the Bellator and the signing and the workings of the deal, and I just give them my honest opinion. I don't try and sell anybody. I don't say, oh, hey, you should do this or you should do that. I give them, my perspective, my point of view, how these guys have treated me, the kind of deal that I have, and then I, say, hey, you gotta make your decision based on what's best for you and your family. But I give them, my perspective, my point of view, how they treated me so far, all that sort of stuff, and then, they make the decisions that they make.
Rory's still pretty young at 27. Did you know him at all? I mean, have you?
Oh, we fought in a couple of cards together. So like most all the UFC guys, like are the fighters that you hang out a little bit. You're on the same fight card, so you're at the hotel for the whole week, all that sort of stuff. So we've talked before in the past. He's on a couple of my cards. Nice game.
Are you expecting more of this? Do you think more guys will come over?
I think absolutely. He's been trying to hit me. But I felt like I just couldn't get started. The second round started going. I started getting my jab going a little bit better. Started pushing the pace. So I was trying to go forward to engage, but he kept doing a good job of being elusive, dancing around, and just couldn't quite get started the way I would have liked to.
Do you attribute that to anything, or can you elaborate on that? Do you feel it came in a little bit cold?
I might have to take a look back. Give me a couple days to look back at the film and see what's what. And as of right now, though, placing my finger on what it was that didn't allow me to get started, you gotta take hats off to Pitbull. Obviously, like he's a great fighter, former champion. So it was nothing that exactly just me. There's another person in there too. So I'd say that he did a great job not allowing me to get started, which is what you want to do as a fighter. You don't want to let your opponent get started. So I think he did a good job. Gotta take hats off to him, and I gotta fix whatever holes that were.
Did you feel you were winning the fight up until that point?
I thought so. It was one of those toss-ups. You know, flip a coin, give it to this guy. Oh yeah, sure. Flip a coin, give it to that guy. Oh yeah, I guess sure. I thought it was definitely kind of close, and I know I needed to turn it on, going into the second and going to the third.
Next question here.
Question for John.